Gears up for its first democratic elections scheduled for December 22nd, 2025. The United Nations mission in South Africa, in collaboration with other international partners, is playing a pivotal role in laying the groundwork despite delays and ongoing political challenges. Efforts are intensifying to create both the physical and civic conditions necessary for a credible vote. Maria Masisi tells us more.
Preparations are underway across South Sudan for the country's first democratic election since gaining independence in 2011. The United Nations mission in South Sudan, UNMISS, in partnership with international agencies and civil society organizations, is spearheading infrastructure development to support the electoral process, while the implementation of the 2018 peace agreement continues to face setback. The United Nations Development Programme (UNDP) and local civil society actors are working on the ground to foster a conducive environment for democratic participation. As part of this effort, a newly constructed office complex was officially handed over to the National Electoral Commission. Major General George Age Owino, internal chairperson of the Reconstitution Joint Monitoring and Evaluation Commission (RJMEC), stressed the importance of such infrastructure in support the electoral framework.
The ongoing process of building a unified, peaceful and prosperous society in South Sudan requires the will of the people to be faithfully reflected in their own governance, which is best articulated through such elections. The best to achieve this, the protection and expansion of political and civic space is needed, and therefore facilitating the inclusion of all stakeholders, particularly the women and the young people in the process.
Similar electoral offices are also being constructed in other states as part of a nationwide project aimed at laying the foundation for free, fair, credible, and peaceful election. Speaking at one such infrastructure, the Deputy Governor of Central Equatorial State stated that this is not simply the unveiling of a building.
This is not merely an unveiling of a physical structure, but a reaffirmation of our collective commitment to democratic governance, peace, and the right of our citizens to choose their leaders through free, fair, credible, and transparent elections.
Originally, the elections were stated for May 2025 but were postponed for several reasons, including the incompleted national census, the absence of a permanent constitution, and delay in registrational political parties and other electoral commission. The postponement, first announced in June, also extend the mandate of the current transitional government, led by President Salva Kiir. The extension has drawn criticism from opposition groups and some civil society actors who view it as a potential threat to the peace process. Addressing the media recently, the head of South Sudan National Electoral Commission emphasized that active participation by political parties will also be essential to the voters' success. As December approached, the focus remained on finalizing both physical and political preparation to ensure South Sudan's first democratic vote as a sovereign state set a predicament for peace and participatory government. Eyeafrica News,